Your journey is perfect. We're all growing and learning and awakening at different rates and times. You cannot force someone to awaken when you are. The other being within the relationship has free will and their own destined time frame to unfold their shadow. Before we came down to earth, we all chose what we wanted to work on during the incarnation. Some souls chose to not go through the process of healing and purification. It could be because of fear or because of clinging on to the old energy and paradigm, or because they are deeply stuck in the lower frequency energy. Most of the collective is choosing to stay in what they feel is familiar. However, refusing to let go of pain and suffering keeps you in stagnation, and stagnation is death to the soul. We are living in the time of the Great Awakening, the Golden Age, the Aquarian Age. It's a momentous time that has been prophesied by the indigenous people and ancients for centuries. As the lifting of the veil happens and we ascend into 5D, fifth dimension, no one can piggyback another soul into this higher state. One can show the way, but one cannot go through the purification and healing process for another soul. 3D drama. You spot it, you got it. Sometimes what occurs when a strong, stubborn soul has forgotten who they are is denial, deflection, and projection. If they haven't been doing the deep inner work on themselves, the unhealthy part of the ego or pride will fight so hard to stay intact that they will deny and deflect anything pointing toward them. In other words, not take responsibility for their part in the relationship. Usually what comes after is an unbridling of their wounds or unresolved shadow onto you. In other words, projection. Carl Jung says it best. The psychological rule says that when an inner situation is not made conscious, it happens outside as fate. This is to say, when an individual remains undivided and does not become conscious of his inner contradictions, the world must perforce act out the conflict and be torn into opposite halves. Energetic muck is real. When you're left holding their share of inner unresolved energy, it's very draining emotionally because you carry it until you address it. For me, emotional drama is much more debilitating than physical. I'd much rather train for an Ironman than go on the emotional roller coaster ride of deflection and projection. Been there, done that. New chapter. One night, about 7 years before I moved to Hawaii, I was sitting, relaxing at home in Long Island when I heard a pounding on my front door. It was one of my housemates / acquaintances who was intoxicated and decided to unload her anger and vile toxic energy out on me. I was shocked because I just did her a huge favor and helped her cat who was left outside in the storm. I reacted by calling her the C word, first time I did that, gave her the finger, slammed the door in her face, stomped up the stairs, and sat on the couch to process what the hell just happened. Within a few minutes, this nausea came over me strong and hard. I ran to the bathroom and hung my head over the toilet. I was so sick to my stomach. So suddenly. I never get sick, so it was hard for me to handle it. I prayed to Archangel Raphael to take it away from me because it was not mine. After I threw up a few times, it was out of me and I was 100% better. I had literally thrown up the toxic waste that she dumped on me. As much as it sucked to feel sick to my stomach, I was relieved I processed her dark negative energy so quickly and didn't keep it in. When someone lays their toxic crap on you and you can feel it lingering, there are many different tools and methods to clear it from your energy field. It doesn't have to be as extreme as throwing up. My favorite method is sitting in nature, breathing deeply, and recalibrating yourself to the light frequency of nature. Salt water or the ocean is another great purifier. If you don't have the ocean available, you can take a salt bath. Sage is great, but some people don't like the smell. You can also just breathe deeply and ask your higher self and guides to help you release the stagnant dark energy that is not yours. I offer other methods on my video portal, Living Light, that can be helpful. Don't take it personally. Actually, don't take anything personally. I'm getting so good at sniffing out projection now. In 2017, I lost 2 of my closest dear friends. It was a shock. Over the last 5 years, the people that have been closest to me in my life just dumped and jumped. Sometimes a great purge is necessary, but it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. As you're leveling up in vibration and rising into new energetic vibrational frequencies, it is common that friends and soulmates will try to keep you down. Most of the time, they are not doing it consciously. It's an insecurity within them to keep you at their level. This is quite normal and good to be aware of. Don't second guess yourself like I did. Another pattern I was working on breaking. I use this, however, as fuel to be even more firm in my conviction and resolve of who I am and where I'm going. I know the work I've done to get to where I am today, the sacrifices I had to make, and no one is going to take that away from me. Naysayers try to plant seeds of doubt in your mind, but your heart knows. Your heart always knows. Once you've experienced that lifting into the light, into a new perception, a feeling of true joy and peace, you will not wish to ever sink back into the quagmire of the old earth and the old 3D again. That means you might have to cut ties with friends that are not in the same energetic frequency as you. This is something I had to do during the creation of the sunflower. But you must protect yourself from energy vampires. They are real. The challenge here is to maintain that exceedingly high frequency energy and to grow even higher and higher into the truth of your soul. Challenging, to say the least, in this current day and age when the old world is falling apart and most of the people you've cared for are falling with it.